no offense if you're watching this and you don't think that, but seriously, you need to rethink your thinking.
Wow, yeah. Sometimes you got to rethink your thinking, Irish. No question. No question. That's all you can do sometimes.
Hi, this is Scout.
Oh.
What?
Just jumping right in, are you?
Yeah.
All right.
Hi,
no preambles?
No.
No. What's
No.
All right, fine. Proceed.
Hi, this is Scout.
Sure is.
Yep.
There you are. Mine
Dad,
Irish.
come on.
Okay. And William.
From Hypermentilating,
the podcast.
A show that follows life and change through the eyes of a father and a daughter. Join us as we find our way.
Together.
Yep.
That be we.
I did that off my head. I didn't look at it.
You are off your head.
I didn't see. Wasn't looking at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You are renowned for your memory work.
Episode 24.
Episode the 24th. Yes, indeed.
Yes. Okay, first topic of the day is,
Oh my god, is this going to be an festival?
No.
All right.
Episode of the day.
Is that some meditative thing? Like it's not
No.
It's
No.
All right.
First topic of the day is, does using AI count as cheating? Depends.
Mm-hmm. A lot of our topics are of the depends variety, aren't they?
Yeah, which is a good thing though.
Yeah, I think so. We're very open-minded. We're middle grounders. Would you agree that we're middle grounders?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think that it depends, honestly, because if you're using AI to write your paper for English class, I feel like we talked about this before. Let me look.
No, you know what I was thinking of? Less for a school thing. When I was thinking more along the lines of, is AI a crutch? Like, do you have to be careful that you're not using it not so much for cheating, but as a crutch, right? Like, is it replacing doing the work? Is it replacing learning? That's a big concern to me. Like, does AI take away people's incentive to actually learn things, learn how to do things? Are we becoming people that just, push the buttons on our little handheld glowing box to come up with answers? And so do we have any facility for coming up with them on our own?
Right. I don't know. I thought we were going to talk about it, like, from a schooling point of view. Like, does it count as cheating?
I mean, it's 100% cheating, isn't it?
Well, no, that's what I mean. I think it depends. If you're using AI to write your paper, then yeah. But if you're using it as like a little helper, like I have you as my AI helper.
Yeah.
But someone could be using the desktop AI as like a, can you help me with this question?
Did you just imply that I'm a robot?
No, well, you know what I mean.
I believe I was just...
Because you can get AI to answer questions without giving you the answer to the question. Like, you can have them help you with it. So, I don't think AI is always cheating. But, like say you're using it to help write your paper. Not to write your paper, but to help you write it.
Yeah.
I think to an extent that's a bit of cheating. Like...
I don't know if you're just
Grammarly or that kind of stuff where it full on can compact your sentences, or it can say, I think you should replace this sentence with this sentence.
Well, then the AI is doing the work.
Yeah.
Then that's definitely cheating. If you define cheating as trying to pawn off the work of something or someone else as yours, which I certainly think that defines cheating, then if you're using AI to create the work, that's for sure cheating.
Yeah.
In a school scenario like that, for sure. Or in a
work scenario.
If you're pawning off the AI as your work, yeah, definitely that would be, I think that's cheating.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger concern with the AI is what I was saying, that it's not even a matter of cheating. It's a matter of that people don't know how to do anything. At some point, we'll just be letting the robot do everything.
Yeah.
What happens then? Seriously, what happens then?
When we just let the robot do the work for us?
Yeah, like how do you...
we'll become so dumb.
Like you're 13, right?
Yeah.
But even in your...
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Congratulations, by the way. It's a monumental achievement.
Yeah.
Even in your career, right? You've seen changes, like this AI is a relatively new change where people can just get a paper that people can't even tell the difference between human or droid.
And like on Reels or TikTok, sometimes there'll be videos and everyone thinks it's AI. Every comment is like, good job, except it's AI.
Yeah.
When like that's like you can't tell anymore.
No, you can't.
Like especially people like around my age see things that are AI and are like, wow, that looks so real. And then they just assume that everything cool is AI.
So a kid that's 6 or 7 is coming up with all of that now, right? And how do you convince them that they should learn anything when they know that they can just type into the glowing box and they'll get the answers? Or that they should care what reality is when reality is so easily skewed or faked? Like, how do you do that? How do you tell a kid, like, okay, it's important you learn this? And if the kid's smart enough to know that, well, why should I learn that, man? I don't need to know that because the robot already knows that. So all I have to do is ask the robot.
Yeah.
That really concerns me. I think that's a very concerning thing, that AI is getting to the point where we don't know if it's the robot or a human, and so that's where the cheating thing comes in, because you don't really have any way of knowing. Like you say with videos or something, it's getting to the point now where you can't tell real from fake.
Yeah.
So you can't even tell when somebody's cheating. There's no somebody's producing content that's not real.
Yeah, there's like fake accounts on like social media platforms that have a full-on like a following of people that think this is a real girl.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, and most people don't, but a lot of them know or don't know that she's fake.
So is that cheating? Like if you're presenting an account as real, but it's altogether fake, other than the person who's running pushing the buttons and raking in and whatever profit behind it. Is that cheating?
Yeah. You're cheating the system. Everyone thinks you're a real girl, but you're actually AI. Yeah, that's cheating.
That is kind of the system, though, isn't it? Like the system is sort of that now. Like does anybody really care? If the thing's raking in views and likes and advertising dollars, then isn't that considered, oh, that's sweet. Good job, buddy. Success.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cheating.
Oh, I think it's definitely misleading, which I think it's a form of cheating.
Yeah.
But how do you tell a kid that that's cheating? Like it used to be, you'd say cheating. Okay, here's the rules. If you break a rule, you get caught. You're cheating. You're a cheater. You play cards. You deal from the bottom. You're a cheater. And cheating was considered like, there's people, depends on your ethical, moral standards. There's people who are like think cheating is only bad if you get caught. But everybody agreed that cheating was, that's a thing where you're trying to weasel the rules, right? You're trying to game the system. But today, it seems like a lot of times that's not only is it not discouraged, it's encouraged. Yeah. Kids are kind of being told like, yeah, man, if you can pull it off, do it. And nobody looks down on it like, oh, you're cutting corners. They're like, yeah, sweet, smooth. Mm-hmm. Look at you. You managed to be successfully cheating.
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of, there's such a fine line now. Like there's no really, you can't really just say this is cheating or this isn't cheating, because it really does just depend. Like if it's on the social media thing, that fake girl.
Yeah.
It could just be some teenage kid who knows how to work its way around video AI and is just having fun with an account. But if it's someone purposely like making the account for money and knowing that they can get certain people to watch these videos and be like, yeah, like that's some pretty piece of AI there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where it kind of depends, because we don't know. It could just, I don't know if that makes any sense, but it does depend. For me, if it's like a kid behind that accounts like that, it's not as bad.
No, I think it does make sense. I think it's a world we're moving into where everything has shifted into this. We used to agree that, like cheating, we'd say, okay, that's cheating. Here's the rules of the game, and if you do that move there, yeah, you're cheating. But now we're morphing into this world where those things aren't cheating. Has sort of become, well, what's cheating? It's as long as you make money, as long as it's successful, as long as people are buying what you're selling, then cheating is not really a concept anymore. That's honestly how I feel. Like we've decided, like what you said, depends. So that's what we are. We're in a world now of not where, okay, this is right and this is wrong, or this is the correct way and this is the wrong way, or these are the rules. Now we're in a world of, well, that's the rules, but it depends.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't love that.
I think overall, if you're using AI to con someone or to answer a question that you could be graded on, or like just in general, I don't know.
If you're passing AI, the AI's output off as your own, then that's cheating. That's kind of what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would agree with that. If you're passing it off as your own, because it can definitely be beneficial too. Mm-hmm. People use it and it wouldn't be considered passing it off as your own. You're just using it to augment or to aid or support what you're doing. Then that's okay. It's just a tool then. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Do animals have feelings? Yes. Is this just your way of talking about animals?
Yeah, well, I like to talk about other creatures for sure. But it's a legit thing. More and more studies are showing they're more and more finding ways to measure that that animals have more consciousness than we're aware of, that there is greater and greater arguments to be made that animals do have feelings, to the point where, you have to start reconciling the fact that bug you squished may not have enjoyed the experience.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. For a lot of people don't think that, though. A lot of people, it's not obvious to a lot of people.
No offense if you're watching this and you don't think that, but seriously, you need to rethink your thinking.
Wow, yeah. Sometimes you got to rethink your thinking, Irish. No question. No question. That's all you can do sometimes.
Okay, you're telling me that there are people out in the world who, if they step on an ant, truly they don't think in the back of their head like, oh, like that ant's probably in lots of pain.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, come on now. There's people who can do all kinds of greater damage to greater creatures than that and not think that they're harming anything sentient. There's lots of people that wouldn't think like, if they threw a rock at a bird and it happened to hit the bird and knock it out of the sky and kill it, they wouldn't be like, oh man, I hope that bird's family isn't upset. It wouldn't bother them for a second. They'd just be like, oh, I mean, it was alive, it flew, and now it's dead. Move on. That's the whole discussion, right? Like,
yeah, but I just think that, I mean, for me, it's always been obvious that animals have feelings. Dogs whimper.
What makes it obvious, though? Okay, that's a good example.
There's, like, cats hiss if they're scared. Ants, if you trap them, they run. They try to escape because they know, like, they feel.
Well, how do you know that
threatened.
They're Dr. Evil?
No, I saw a video and it was they drew a line of Sharpie, and they put an ant in the center of it, and the ant won't cross that line.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It was really cool.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, it wouldn't cross the line, and it's the same when you put your hands around it, you like move it. You can see the ant is trying to escape. It's trying to run, because it feels scared. Mm-hmm. It feels threatened.
Last year there was an article, I put an article into Change Happens that was about bees playing. Remember it had that video?
I remember it.
That's what originally got me thinking more about, like, I've always thought that animals have feelings for sure. Like anybody who's had a dog But the article was interesting because it was saying that bees play, like, and the proof is very strong that at the end of the day, the only reason the bees were doing what they were doing was simply playing. It was the joy of playing, and it was for no other reason. Like, they structured the tests so that it took out mating, it took out food, it took out shelter, it took out all of the other reasons that you could have used to explain the bees' behavior with the balls, and all you were left with is they were just rolling the balls because it was fun. Well, and that's feeling, right? Like, that's a sense of just doing something for joy. Then you're feeling. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they're sentient. They're not going around and going back to the hive and going, "Oh, Bob, that was a blast." No,
I know, but think about I'm sure you've seen the videos of animals being excited to see their, like, not owners, but like wild animals being excited to see the people that maybe rescued them or raised them. Like you can see that they're clearly happy to see them. When I was little, Madish and I used to watch videos of animals being excited to see their rescuers or their owners. So it's like, you know, dogs when they wag their tails. That's feeling. That's a feeling of joy.
I mean, I think so too, but you don't see how people
I genuinely can't.
Yeah. I mean, I have trouble with it too. I don't know how people cannot.
I can't.
I mean, I think that all of these things have consciousness even more than just feelings. Like I'm not saying they're all, you know, parsing sentences, but they have an awareness. I believe they have an awareness. I mean, I don't know how else would they function unless they had an external awareness, which implies consciousness. And if you have those things, why wouldn't you have feelings, even if they're just basic like lizard brain feelings that are just fight or flight or fear or joy or pleasure or hunger? I definitely think they do too. I do too. But there's a lot of people that would be listening to us right now and be like, oh, it's just a bug. It's just a dog, man.
But just because we don't go around hunting each other and eating each other, that doesn't mean that, like, that means we have more feelings than animals. I mean, I guess an argument could be that people think animals don't have feelings because they kill each other. But I feel like that would just make it they have more feeling. Like that would just make me feel like they have feelings even more.
Yeah, I mean,
like they feel like they need to hunt and kill other animals to survive.
I don't know any other animals that are meaner than humans. There's no creatures that are meaner than us. That's for sure.
Okay, do animals have feelings? Yeah, they do.
100% I think they do. I do think they do.
There's nothing anyone could say to change my mind.
But what other examples
if you have an argument, though, then please feel free to tell us why you
for sure. We're open to the discussion.
Yeah.
But what other examples are? Because the obvious one is a dog wags his tail. That can be explained away. A cat meows or hisses. Okay. That can be explained away. But that's why the ball rolling by the bees. That's a very specifically is like, okay.
The ants running because they feel threatened. Like scurrying away. Like when you go to, like if you move your hand.
Wouldn't people just argue that that's just a survival mechanism? Like
a survival mechanism that they've learned because they feel like they need to learn it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
just being devil's advocate. I definitely think that animals have feelings. Yeah. But so you think they're running... I mean, that would be the argument. They're just running for survival. But you think that they're feeling fear.
Yeah, they're feeling threatened more than fear. They feel threatened. Because think about it. If we were standing and and something so giant, like out of this world giant, walked towards us, would we not run? Because we felt scared and threatened and worried?
I don't disagree with you, but...
We were brought up to survive like that, fight or flight. That's flight.
But I don't disagree with you, but you're looking at that from a human perspective, right? So
yeah, but we only know humans' perspective, so why wouldn't I look at it?
But that's why there are people who would say that animals don't have feelings, because how can we know? Because we don't have their perspective, and they're lesser than us, so of course they don't have these human things we attribute to ourselves, right? Which is feelings, emotions,
but there are actual animals out there who are, like, it is scientifically proven that they do not have like feelings. Like literally, they don't feel pain. That's
different though.
But like
that's different though.
Okay, well, yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I just know in my heart that animals have feelings.
No, I 100% think they do too. But we wouldn't have a podcast if we weren't discussing these matters.
Think about it though. There's animals that seek revenge from other animals and other people, and feel anger.
Yeah. Like, actually, that's a really good point.
Or irritation when you pat a horse and it doesn't like it, it'll kick you.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really, really good point. That there is lots of examples of animals who will do things.
That's a good example. When you pet a horse or you do something they don't like, they'll show signs of agitation. They'll kick you if they don't like where you're standing. Or What about when dogs bite you?
Maybe they're just jerks.
No. What about when dogs bite you? Mm-hmm. That's not irritation?
No, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But people would say they would try and write it off,
I don't
right?
know what to say then.
I do. I think the creatures most definitely have feelings, and I think probably the discussion isn't so much of ants or of dogs or cats, right? Or a gorilla or the bigger creatures that we can make obvious. We can draw obvious conclusions that have feelings. It would be more like ants, or that's why the bee thing is good.
I don't know.
I think ants have feelings. I'm not going to be worried about stepping on ants on the sidewalk because at the end of the day, it's just the world that we're in.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what to say because I can't look at it from another perspective.
So do you think an ant has feelings? Okay.
I do.
All right.
Do you?
I do, yeah. I think it's probably nominal, and it helps me to not consider it too deeply because of how many of the bazillions of little tiny creatures I've killed, but unintentionally. But all right.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So now we're going into our segments, and we have change happens. First, whoa. I don't like how I said that. Change happens.
We need intro music for segments. You should try and gong something up.
Sure.
Come on, man.
First time you realized what a small world it is. Okay. I have a connection from my grandfather on the other side of the family, Grandpa Craig. And it's about when he was growing up and he went to Cub Scouts with Ted Bundy.
Oh my God, seriously?
And it was weird because that was the first time growing up that it was like, wow, like that's so weird. Like that's, okay, yeah, I don't want to put that in. Just kidding. We're doing a different one. Well,
no, but that's your example for a small world?
Yeah, because when I was told that story when I was like 10 or 11, I was like, what? But he's like well known, like around the whole world and like.
Yeah, for being a heinous, evil creature.
You can just do a different one.
No, I mean, that doesn't seem really on brand, does it?
Well, no, but we also do talk about a lot of fun up.
Yeah, but how do we get around a serial killer?
It's fine.
I mean, he was a notorious serial killer. He killed dozens and dozens of women.
No, it was more like tried like 170.
It wasn't 170. Let's go.
Okay. So change happens. Now we're doing our segments. First time you were mad or disappointed, more at yourself than like, or I guess, in general, but what I mean is more when you were mad or disappointed at something you did or an outcome of something you did.
I understand.
Yeah, okay, so I'll go first, and the first time I ever felt mad or disappointed at myself was at the very first tournament I ever competed at, and I lost. And
in jiu-jitsu?
In jiu-jitsu. I got like third place, and it was just, I think it was at the gym. I don't even think it was like a full tournament. I think it was just one of those things that our old coach would hold at the gym, just as a little surprise. Mm-hmm. And it was the first one we ever did. We had only been doing jiu-jitsu for like a year. And I'm going to be completely honest, I wasn't really on top of my game at that time. I wasn't nearly as good as my brother. But I was all excited, and I was like, yes, let's go. Like
you did, however, at that time have a black belt in derping.
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that.
Yes.
And, I had to go up against my nemesis. Yeah, my nemesis. You know who I'm talking about.
I do.
And, I had beaten her before, obviously, but
because of the restraining order, I can't say anything that she has against you.
We don't have a restraining order.
No, there's no we. It's just you.
No.
No, okay.
But
that's not true.
No, we actually like each other. We get along.
You guys are buddies. I mean, you've known each other 8 years now.
She's just like my sparring nemesis.
Yeah, you've known each other a long time.
But yeah, I always had trouble rolling with her. I would always get in my head, and it just wouldn't end up going that well. But yeah, I was all excited, and I always knew they always put me up against her, just because we had good rolls. but I was always put up against her. And the tournament started, and Madish went, and all these people went. And in my head, I was like, everyone was watching me, which I'm sure they weren't. They were probably talking to their buddies. But long story short, I lost. And that was the first time I can remember being just really like kind of mad and disappointed at myself.
You didn't lose, Scout. You just didn't win.
Yeah, I lost.
No, for sure. That's losing.
And yeah, I don't know. I just felt like everyone was looking at me, and
you did all right though. It wasn't some crushing defeat. Like I remember.
Oh no. I remember that, and she like it was really bad.
So were you mad or disappointed or both?
Oh, both. I was both.
Which were you more? Were you more angry or disappointed?
I was more angry.
With who?
Well, honestly, with both. I was disappointed at myself and mad at her.
Because she had the temerity to defeat you.
Yes. I remember, like, for weeks after that, I was kind of mean in some of her rules.
Oh, okay, well, that's not good.
I bit her.
Okay, this is like the second or third biting incident in the episodes, and once again...
Okay, I'm just kidding. I didn't actually bite her. Like, genuinely, I didn't actually bite her.
Now, all the people listening are going to be subpoenaed.
I genuinely didn't bite her. I promise.
No,
I didn't bite her.
You didn't bite. You didn't bite anybody.
No, I was
except for
not.
that one kid when you were little.
No, she bit me.
Oh yeah, she bit you.
Yeah, I've never bit anyone except for Paws when I was like really little. So that's my story.
You left teeth marks in Madish.
No, it was the other way around. Remember, we were sitting on the couch and we were making a video.
Yeah, I remember. But you've left your chopper evidence of your choppers in his skin
blood.
Either. Well, no, you're not a cannibal.
He did.
Okay, this isn't about Madish and your make-believe accusations.
So that's my story. I got defeated in a tournament and I was really mad and disappointed.
All right, then.
My
turn?
Yep. Do you have your story?
I was like 4 or 5. I was in my room. It's one of my earliest memories. My mom had bought for my bed like a blanket comforter kind of a thing, right? I don't know if you can call them comforters that far back in the day. But it was this thing, and it either had racing cars on it or it had cowboys and Indians kind of stuff on it.
Yeah.
And I wanted the other one. I feel like it had racing cars, and I wanted the...
Cowboys and Indians, yeah.
And I pitched a little sucky 4 or 5-year-old selfish lack of appreciation and empathy wobbler about it, right? And I remember my mom was... I remember the feeling off of her. She was just... it was disappointment. Like, I hurt her feelings. Subsequently, as a parent now, I know you do something for your kid when they're little and they're like, nah. And you don't get mad. You're just like... Did
I do that?
Every kid does it, okay. Irish. Every kid does it. And you thought you were doing something that was going to bring... She thought she was doing something really awesome that was going to bring me joy.
Yeah.
And then I respond like, just a little tool. But I remember distinctly the feeling of, and my mom wasn't a person who was going to make sure the kid understood how she felt. That's not the kind of parent she was at all. Mm-hmm. But it was one of those things where it just washed over. It was disappointed. She was disappointed. And I knew that I had hurt her feelings. I knew that my little fit and little selfish little spaz had caused her to feel bad. Right. And so that's the first time that I ever remember being, I wasn't really mad at myself, but I was super disappointed. I was like, oh my God, that is not what I meant to do. Like I get that she was trying to be nice. Like I just really knew that, okay, that's never going to happen again. Yeah. And it was a good lesson for me my whole life. Like
never happened again?
I'm sure it has. Like I'm sure there's lots of people out there who would say, yeah, okay, buddy, you did that to me once. I'm sure. But I've definitely tried to not do it, right? I've tried to understand that somebody's trying to do something nice for me. The bare rock bottom minimum I can do for them
is be grateful.
Is be grateful. Is not be a jerk about it. Wow. So it was a very powerful lesson.
Your story beats mine.
No, it doesn't beat yours.
Yes, it does.
No, it's a different story. It's a different story. It shows the gentle it just shows the gentle nature of me juxtaposed against the savage, crazed, bloodthirsty, vibe that is you.
Yeah.
Huh? And that's what people would say. Everybody who knows us would be like, yeah.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, gentle versus crazed.
No, they wouldn't.
All right.
Okay.
That's how we can introduce this from now on. Hi, I'm crazed and I'm gentle.
Okay.
All
okay.
right.
Moving on.
All right.
We have weirdness.
The crazed one wants to move on.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on, we have weirdness.
And the gentle one is presenting the weirdness today. All right, weirdness. Weirdness.
I'm the crazed one.
Weirdness. I think I'm in a position to shed some light on weirdness in this moment. Because clearly my behavior is
weird.
It's channeling in that direction. All right, here's my weirdness. People who believe in like the Loch Ness monster, the abominable snowman, Sasquatch.
Are we talking that the person that believes in that is weird, or the actual thing itself?
Just the weirdness of believing in things that clearly are probably have no basis in reality.
I'm gonna get real for a second.
No.
When I was little and I first watched the Loch Ness monster, it took a lot of work to get into a lake after that. Okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
It scared me. Because I know the movie's like, this sweet movie about the Loch Ness monster.
What movie?
The Loch Ness monster movie?
What accent was that? It's
British.
It's Scottish.
Yeah, I know, but the Loch Ness monster... Stop.
Apologies to all my Scottish brethren out there.
Yeah, that night we were talking about how he only knows how to say bananas in the Irish accent.
That's you saying
and
that.
He can't say anything else in the Irish accent.
That's just you popping out nonsense.
Okay.
Oh my.
But yeah, it took a lot of work to get into the lake after that. I know, like, the movie is supposed to show, like, this little boy who made friends with the...
What movie?
Oh my god, you've never seen it? You have to watch it.
What has this got to do with the weirdness of people who believe in monsters?
You listed the Loch Ness monster.
So
and
let's
I'm
discuss...
giving my experience of this.
You're
so
giving a movie review.
When I was little, I heavily believed in the Loch Ness monster.
You're a big weirdo then.
Like, I really, really believed in it. But after a little while...
Okay, but that's like when you're little, you believe that WWE, that fake wrestling is real. Okay, fair enough, because you're a kid.
I still believe that.
Do you still believe in the Loch Ness monster? Do you think there's a giant snake that nobody's been able to capture?
It's not a snake. It's not a snake.
It's snake-like.
It's not. It's like a rounded dinosaur.
It's not anything.
Thing. Okay.
Okay, so do you believe there's a hairy Sasquatch?
Actually, Bigfoot, low-key.
Okay.
I remember.
So there you go.
For a while when we were younger, there was this whole chain of things that were kind of like that every little kid believed in from around the age of 8 to like 10, and it was Slender Man, Siren Head, and Momo. Okay?
Momo thing was super creepy, man.
If you were a kid...
That was really creepy.
If you were a kid and you weren't terrified of Momo, what were you doing?
A kid, an adult. All you had to do was take one look at that picture and you'd be like, no, turn that off.
So that was... Yeah, I remember at our school they banned the photo. Like, if we showed
creepy.
the photo to people, we couldn't go out for recess.
It was disturbing.
So,
but that's
I know. So people who... I think that it kind of gets to a point where if you're an age and you still believe... If you're like 20 and you still believe in the Loch Ness monster, well, okay. Cool.
But there are people who do.
No, I know, and I'm not judging them. I think like that's...
I just think it's awesome. To me, it's some weirdness. That's the weirdness is these myths and these things that grow and people continue to perpetrate them and believe in them.
Yeah,
perpetuate them and believe in them.
Yeah.
Or I guess they are perpetrators.
I saw a video and it said, "Imagine believing in dinosaurs in the Big 25."
Imagine what?
Imagine believing in dinosaurs in the Big 25.
In the Big 25?
Because it's 2025.
But you're calling it the Big 25?
I didn't. I saw the video that said it.
Oh my. So is that a thing now?
And it said, imagine believing in dinosaurs in the Big 25. And all the comments were like, bro, I know. They were all agreeing with him. They were like, who believes in dinosaurs at this day and age?
But they don't. I'm lost, man. Are these people not understanding that at one time dinosaurs existed?
Yes, they're not. That's the whole point.
Okay, fair enough. So there's that. That's the flip side of that coin, is believing in weird things that never existed and never would, or not believing in real things, like flat earthing. Right? Like that.
Imagine believing in dinosaurs at the Big 25.
Okay, all right.
That gave me a really good laugh for a bit, because I was like, genuinely what? Like, where are you learning?
Yeah, no, they're
Where
not.
are you getting
Clearly,
this information?
Clearly, they're not learning.
Oh, that made me laugh for a while. But yeah, I think that if it gets to a point where if you still believe in the Loch Ness Monster, the abominable snowman, I'm not even going to put Bigfoot, because I low-key still believe in Bigfoot.
What does that mean? I mean, I know what low-key means, but what are you talking about? How can you low-key believe in what?
It's like,
you
I
think
don't
there's a big hairy dude who's been running around the woods for 70 years?
Yeah.
What's he eat?
I don't know, like,
Where does he live?
he blends in with the trees.
Where did he come
'cause
from?
hear me out,
Where
hear
did
me
he
out.
come from?
No, hear me out.
Was he just a hairy baby that got turned loose in the woods?
I don't think that the Sasquatch is like this big gigantum, like 20-foot guy. I think he's probably like
6'2".
No, like 8. Probably about 6'7".
Oh my God.
No, I think he's probably like maybe 8 feet max, and he eats other animals like deer and stuff like that. So when people see dead deer carcasses and they think it's a bear, think twice.
I don't even know what to say, man.
Imagine
I'm
believing
deeply
in
saddened.
dinosaurs in the
I'm
Big
deeply
25.
saddened. Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay, so you and your flat Earth people can go chasing Sasquatch.
No, people who think that the Earth is flat are among some of...
Careful now. This podcast could be going out to the flat parts of the planet.
We even love the flat earthers, okay? We don't no hate.
It's not a matter of hate, but I mean, if it's
kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. It's high key crazy.
Okay. Now we're casting
no, but actually,
judgment.
Like, serious talk though, if it's a little
Although
awkward.
To be fair, seriously, if you think the Earth is flat, man, really, I don't know what to tell you.
It's a little awkward. I've had conversations with people that are 20, 30. I've had serious conversations with people who are seriously like, yeah, hey, the Loch Ness Monster.
You have not.
Excuse me? I promise you.
Who?
On my
No
soul.
names. You've had an actual conversation with somebody.
Yep.
Well, I guess I did bring it up because I know there are people who believe this stuff.
I had a conversation. I don't remember like how it got brought up, but we were talking about it. We were talking about myths and stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, like talk about myths," but I genuinely saw the Loch Ness Monster in the lake. I was like, "Oh." Oh,
so this is some Scottish person you met?
No.
Somebody who traveled to Scotland to Loch Ness?
No, it was a person from the United States of America.
So how did they see the Loch Ness Monster?
I don't know.
Well, they didn't.
Thanks. Thank you.
The Loch Ness Monster is in Loch Ness.
Yeah,
you have to go to Scotland to Loch Ness. Loch means lake in Scottish talk.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, there's a few myths.
I don't think people believe in it. I think it's just fun and they want to believe in it.
Unless you're thinking about the Sasquatch. Okay, if you're a fellow Sasquatch believer, please don't hesitate to talk about it in the comments. I would love to have a heartfelt conversation about it. I have a couple theories.
Okay. All right.
I also saw a video, because after I saw that video, I went down a rabbit hole of the Imagine in the Big 25 videos, and another one said, imagine believing in the Black Plague in the Big 25.
Okay. All right. So you believe in Sasquatch, and that wraps up today's episode.
Yes,
because
it does.
I'm just going to walk to the edge of this flat Earth and jump off. And hopefully Sasquatch can break my fall.
Yeah, the Sasquatch. The Sasquatch is not that big. The Sasquatch is.
Oh, I know.
8 feet.
He's 6'2". 6'2".
No.
Except when he's wearing his boots.
What?
Why
Sasquatch
not?
is naked except for his fur.
Oh, okay. Why? Like that's. So he's essentially a man bear. That's what he is.
Yeah.
All right. Episode the 24th.
Yep, that concludes
wrapped
it.
up on a completely nonsensical note. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you.
I still love you very much.
I love you
Even
too.
if it turns out you have become a flat earther.
Okay, I'm not a flat earther.
Man, you know how it starts? It starts with Sasquatch, and then that's it. It's you go Sasquatch, flat earth, and in between, I'm sure you'll find some other things to believe in that are unbelievable. But I love you very much.
Yeah, I love you too.
All right, then.
All right, then.
We'll see you next week.
I love you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I love you too.
Hey, goodbye.